as we get into writing our first program, we're going to start with output, displaying something on the screen. To do this, we use a built-in function in Python. Every Python function has a name, and many of them accept values. So the function name is print. And when we are calling a function, we have parentheses after the function where we can pass it data. If it doesn't accept data, they'd be empty. But anytime you call a function, it's the function name plus any parameters, variables, it's called both things, that you'll send to it. In this case, we're going to be making a Mad Libs type program, and we're going to do it in 2 steps. In your first step, you're going to take a song or a poem or something like that, and you're going to print out the program. So my sample will be Mary Had a Little Lamb. So that's the poem we'd be writing, and I'm not going to go all the way through it. I'm just going to do 2 lines to show you how we'd begin. So we would print in quotes because we're passing a string. A string is literally a string of characters, which is why it's called a string. And so everything between the set of quotes is part of that. So we would pass it, print, Mary had, and then we'd keep going on with that. So for each portion of the program, for each line in the poem, we would do another print statement. So we might have whose fleece was, and we'd go on from there. So we could do a new print statement for each line. Now, if you've ever programmed before, you might be thinking, well, I could do that all in 1 line of code and just make it wrap. You could. You absolutely could. If you were going to do that, we have special characters called escape sequences so that you can make new lines appear on the screen. And I would actually do that when I got to the end of a stanza. I would add, inside the quotes, I would add /n, and /n is a new line. So if you wanted to do it in 1 line of code, you could do that. I tend not to like wrapping code. That comes down to personal taste and whatever your workplace prefers. So this is the start of what a program would look like. There is going to be some more to it. We're going to talk a little bit about variables and a little bit about comments in the 2 sections that are coming up. And both of those things need to be part of most of the programs that you write. For every program that you write, you're going to have at least 1 comment explaining what the program will do. If you're going to do a comment for a single line, you're going to use a £. I'm not going to refer to it as a hashtag, I'm old. The official name is an octothorpe because it has 8 points, but this indicates a comment. Comments are to help the programmer or whoever comes after you understand what you're trying to do in the program. The computer ignores them. It's just documentation, and you need to have at least 1 comment in every program explaining what the program is going to do. What I actually like to do is a block comment, which in Python starts with 3 sets of quotes and ends with 3 sets of quotes, and that lets you do multi-lines. And what I actually like to do is I copy and paste the whole description of the program requirement, the word problem you're given, so that I can refer back and forth, because these are very short. If I was doing a professional program, I would have a summary here of what the program should do, which is basically your assignment requirements. Then as we move on, where we break programs into sections, each section will need at least 1 comment explaining what that should do. So either a £, which text is ignored, or in 3 sets of quotes. So this is a single line quote, this is a multi-line quote. There's also another way of using comments. You can comment out your code so the computer ignores it. When we do testing of programs, I frequently comment lines I don't want to look at in the debugging process. And you'll see how we use that as we get later into the chapter. So this is how you're going to use comments.